We are in Soccer County tonight, where the business end of the USL League One calendar comes center stage. It is a Westchester SC squad looking to kickstart and ascend up the table against a squad in Chattanooga that has table-topping aspirations of its own. Tonight's match is presented by Northwell Health. We say hello and welcome from Westchester County. I'm Sam Goldfarb. Let's get a look at how these teams have fared in their last 5 league matches. For Chattanooga, excellent. Just 1 goal conceded, 3 wins in that span. A team that has been sensational on both ends of the pitch and is really starting to churn out results under Scott McKenzie. On the other side for Dave Carton's bunch, remember these stats don't include what was a forfeit victory over Spokane Velocity, so only 4 goals in that span, but they have shown some signs of promise despite also an evident amount of lapses in the last month. So, great on July 19th. This calamitous error by Dane Jackaman. Babacar Dieng threw on goal for the most routine finish he'll have all year. But J.C. Obregon Jr. says, all right, let me just pull this back. Another spectacular from outside the area. The team with the most goals from outside the area striking to earn a hard-fought draw against a team above the playoff line. On the opposite end of things for Chattanooga Red Wolves in their last league match, the result of their season thus far, throttling the league leaders in Spokane Velocity. Yanis Lilan opening the scoring after just 4 minutes, and then Omar Hernandez compounding it with one of the best goals you'll see all week. After the restart, any hope for Spokane snuffed out rather quickly because unable to play out of the press. And then this quick cross comes in. Zahir Vasquez pounces to polish off all 3 points and provide Chattanooga with an opportunity to climb atop the table for the first time since May of 2022 this evening. We are just about set for kickoff in the first ever meeting between Westchester SC and Chattanooga Red Wolves. Westchester looking to kickstart the climb towards the playoff places. Chattanooga looking to go atop the league when we return. Stick with us. Lineups and kickoff next on ESPN+.
Our tagline is welcome to Soccer County, not a town. And we want it to be a hub of all the soccer energy throughout the communities of this region.
As a first-year franchise and a club that's new, you know, these are landmarks in the history of the club that you want to really do something memorable.
I think it shows how soccer crazy this area is and how much passion there is about sports and just community in general.
For being a homegrown talent, you know, in my city, it means everything because my family, my friends, all my loved ones come to the game, watch me play, you know, and you know, I'm just try to put on for my city as much as I can.
Being healthy means you can do what makes you happy. With the people who make you smile. Health First Insurance plans connect you to care you can trust. For a happy family. And a healthy future. With Health First, it's all within your reach.
You expect Manhattan-level care, and you live in Westchester. With Northwell, you'll find it all right here through this store in Terrytown and this one in Katona, at Phelps Hospital and Northern Westchester Hospital. It's where you'll find a vast network of world-class doctors delivering everything from primary care to the most complex neurosurgery and cancer treatments. And it's all part of New York's most awarded health system, with every door leading to extraordinary care right here in Westchester. Northwell. Raise health.
We welcome you back to Westchester County, where we are just about set for kickoff in the first ever meeting between Westchester SC and Chattanooga Red Wolves SC. It should be a fun clash from Mount Vernon, New York. And speaking of the two sides, let's get a look at our starting 11s, starting with Westchester, a team that makes 5 changes from what was a Jägermeister Cup defeat at Detroit City to round up its campaign. Prince Sadie and Dean Guzin back in the side. The shift to the 3-4-3 the last few weeks has remained in place. Dave Carton hoping Sadie and Guzin can pick out spots in the half spaces to occupy defenders and free up Obregon to roam free. And then in behind as well, Taimu Okiyoshi making his first league start for Rhode Island FC loanee. For Scott McKenzie's squad, it is back to a first-choice 11 after rotating heavily in their Jägermeister Cup finale, but don't let it fool you. It was still a strong squad then, and it's an even stronger squad now. Omar Hernandez and Zaire Vasquez partnering Grayson Mercer up top, and then Aaron Lombardi enters for Jordan Ayambila. The two of them are two of the better wingbacks in the league. Pretty much can swap off interchangeably. Just about ready to get things underway from Westchester County, and we are underway. Westchester in the classic blue kits. I'll be going from left to right on your screen. Meanwhile, Chattanooga in the white with maroon going from right to left. Sam Goldfarb thrilled to bring you all of the action tonight from the stadium at Memorial Field. It is a Westchester side that in many respects, opening the year, was predicted to finish towards the top of the table. Things have not panned out. A combination of injuries, defensive woes, etc. has left them well behind the 8 ball and 5 points adrift of postseason pace entering tonight. And in many respects, their opposite number has been the inverse. A team picked towards the bottom of the table, but one with such a clearly defined identity that has churned out results with regularity through the summertime. A side that has been defeated just twice in USL League One action, now has a chance to go atop the table with 3 points this evening. Just so many basic points of comparison between these two sides. We've already spoken about the preseason disparity in terms of expectations, but also in terms of style. You have one team that plays such a free-flowing, open style of play that sometimes can leave them vulnerable on the break. In Westchester, Chattanooga squad that is all about making things a war. 50-50 balls, second balls, that is the name of their game. Scott McKenzie saying he cares far more about dual stats than he does possession stats. And despite all of that, racking up win after win. Here's a long-range effort. It's dangerous. Stings the palms of Jackman. Still loose and pinged over the crossbar. A major chance going begging for Chattanooga early. Jackman passes his first test. Let's get another look at this set piece. Training ground routine. Omar Hernandez, who's a man in considerable form, just bashing it. And Dane Jackman doing well enough to parry it away. Rather fortunate that the follow-up effort didn't have a little more ferocity or accuracy to it. And then nice bounce back to start this one, because in his last start, by this time, had made that very, very catastrophic miscue that put them behind at Knoxville. Responded rather well to his mistake. And were able to see out a hard-fought draw away from home. Counter. Here's Taimu Okiyoshi, his second consecutive start, first in league play since joining Westchester on loan from Rhode Island, about 2 weeks ago. Dave Carton says he's been pleased with the way he's fit in. Says the biggest area of development he's hoping for is more progressive passes. Can already play through the pressure, can negotiate through traffic well. Now it's about adding that attacking dimension to his skill set. Butler commits the early transgression. Another set piece for Chattanooga, and this is where their bread and butter comes, down against one Knox. Toby John Hope, who's not in the 11 tonight, I should say, was the man who finished that off. Two in the vicinity here. It looks to be Vasquez and Hernandez. It's hooked in by Omar Hernandez. Stabbed away by Okioshi. Does reach the feet of Guzin. Runs out of real estate. When you speak to Dave Carton this week, he's mentioned the challenges that Chattanooga presents. He says in many ways you have to buy into the way they're going to play and be sure you're mentally prepared to compete in a physical battle for second balls and 50-50s for the entirety of 90 minutes. He's mentioned that there's a lot of commentary out there about the way Chattanooga plays. I'm not going to be a snob about it. I respect them because they've churned out results with regularity, and Scott McKenzie's done a tremendous job. And the mutual respect, of course, shared the opposite direction. Scott McKenzie saying he feels this Westchester side very well coached. Cross comes in. Jackman decisive. It falls, and it's in! A rapid start for Chattanooga, who leads away from home. Jackman makes the gamble to come off his line, and he leaves the goal gaping in the process. It is Walefi who opens his account in league play for 2025 in fantastic fashion. You see Jackman punch, and the punch falls so nicely for Walefi. It was a decisive decision, maybe not the right one though, and Walefi, first time, puts Chattanooga in front. Well, he is not someone who is renowned for being a goal-scoring threat, the captain. Looks just his third career goal. But what a time to pop up and give your side the early advantage with a chance to climb atop the table on the cards. As there's a man banged up at the end of that. Appears to be Yanis Laline. They have taken the brunt of Jackman's punch. This is the dream start for Chattanooga Red Wolves, and Scott McKenzie is someone who's just churned out results consistently. You see that drop down at the top of your screen. 3 points today, which will be at the helm of Chattanooga Red Wolves through 2026 as things currently stand. And what a job he's done. And talking to him this week, he always mentions how last season with the personnel he had, he tried to play a more dynamic attacking style. Not necessarily possession-oriented, but they did try to have more of the ball. This year, he's gone back to his bare roots and has said it is about playing direct and playing efficient. Possession is not a stat that concerns me that much. He used the word useless statistic on the phone this week. And when you look at the numbers, this is a Chattanooga team that has the lowest average possession in league history for a single season. And Stephen Payne just narrowly misses out on breaking beyond Jason Smith there. But despite that, still finding ways to pop up and score. And they've already done so already tonight. Possession numbers, it is staggering. 35.75% of the ball is their average possession per game. It's about 7 to 8% lower than the prior league low in history. It's been a style that has revolutionized the game, and you've seen a lot of the more successful sides in USL League One play having less of the ball and hitting teams on the break. Chattanooga doing it just a bit of a different way with directness and knock-ons. Now Westchester will have to handle 11 men behind the ball if they hope to find a leveler at this point. Pierre taking it towards Josh Drag. Pierre again. One of the new introductions since Connor McGlynn went down with injury. Sadie, not quite on the same wavelength as the Golden Boot leader, Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. If you're just joining us, 10 minutes gone from the stadium at Memorial Field, and Chattanooga Red Wolves already in front, courtesy of Willefe's 6-minute opener. Dane Jackman coming out to punch. Punches it right into the path of Willefe, who took it first time and took it very well. Chattanooga, after an early bout of possession, putting themselves in front and providing themselves with a game script that definitely favors them in the long run here. It will force Westchester to press the issue and potentially expose themselves in the process. Here's Jackman. Made the long-range stop early on and looked rather confident in doing so. Did punch the ball with conviction, and fortunately for him, the punch just traveled right back to Willefe. Guzin pushes this wide to Stephen Payne. Sadie moves around with so much freedom, number 3 in blue. Enjoyed such a positive start to the summer. Guzin. Switch of the play to Josh Drack. Does keep it in play. First time crosses beyond the reach of the onrushing Westchester players. You can get used to this. Chattanooga at this point, they have the lead. They won't be shy about throwing white kits behind the ball and forcing Westchester to come out of their shell. It was a dynamic we expected off the top. It is one that will be even more pronounced at this stage, with Chattanooga leading as Obregon is sent tumbling by Michael Knapp. There is your look at the Golden Boot leader, J.C. Obregon Jr. Already see him creating some chaos. Knapp actually took the brunt of the contact there. Obregon himself, though, someone in elite goal-scoring form. We already showed you the sensational long-range firecracker that equalized things at Knoxville a couple weeks back. A more frustrating affair last week in the Jägermeister Cup finale against Detroit, but Westchester barely had any of the ball. Their percentage possession numbers in the 20s, so it was not a match where he could truly make an imprint on things, especially after Noah Powder was sent off in the late stages of the first half. Here tonight, they'll definitely have more of it. That's almost for certain. So Michael Knapp is still prone on the pitch. Early concern for Dave Carton. His side did not start sharply by any means, and now forced to dig out of an early deficit. It is a match trend that has reared its unfortunate head a number of times since their last official on-pitch league victory, I should say, against Forward Madison. Conceding first in that match and coming from behind to win. Since then, they've fallen behind early against the likes of Greenville, Knoxville, and many others. Snap seems somewhat content to try to walk this off. On the other side of things, Scott McKenzie's side doesn't find themselves behind very often, and tonight no different. He's spoken about how proud he is of the character of his group, buying into the collective mentality of this side. It is collective over individual when it comes to mindset for this group. He has gotten his players to all buy into that collective mentality. We've seen the results on the pitch already. is Guzin and Okiyoshi that stand over this. Guzin pings it in towards Pierre, just overcooks it into the gloves of Jason Smith. His first involvement of the night, the Syracuse University product. Mercer's first touch, an accomplished goal scorer last year at Western Michigan. So he's just been worked back into the fold the last month and a half or so. Missed the early portions of the season with injury. Okiyoshi. This is Rashid Teta, the former longtime USL Championship man. Powder. Really flicked it into the path of Obregon. Now Drac snatching it back, still loose, and it takes a fortuitous hop back to Smith. Well, that is what he can provide. Former Charleston man joining Westchester in early May, and has hardly forfeited that left wing back, left back role since. Did miss the Knoxville match with a last-second illness, but back to 100% once again, says Dave Carton. Provides that dimension of attacking ingenuity on the left flank that many others don't. Early change already being prepared for Chattanooga, and it appears that Michael Knapp could not walk off that earlier knock. He's replaced by Winan Wessels, the Gardner-Webb product, in a like-for-like change in the center of the park. That substitution is presented by Benjamin Steakhouse, always a prime choice. So unfortunate break for Knapp. Took the brunt of that contact, the studs to his shin. And replaced by Winan Wessels, who enjoyed a run in the 11 around late spring, early summer. Drac. Still space. He does keep this in play. Just can't thread it back to Obregon, though. Well, now you see a degree of directness from Westchester. And Dave Carton mentioned that against Chattanooga, you almost have to play with a pace that they can't match, because otherwise you will be forced to break down a team in tight spaces. And that hasn't necessarily been the strength of Westchester this year. He feels that if they can knock passes about quickly and drag players out of position, maybe even switch the play and stretch the defense, that will be their best chance to truly unlock Chattanooga. And they do that here. Guzin dinking it to Sadie. Nearly sat up nicely for him. Ultimately, the final parting gift from Prince Sadie is what draws our referee's ire. Well, fans, catch every heart-pounding moment at Westchester's home stadium at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon. 2025 season tickets are on sale now, offering flexible payment plans, priority access, discounts, invites to exclusive events, and much more. Don't miss out on an unforgettable season of fun, friends, community, and soccer. Visit westchestersc.com to become a 2025 season ticket member today. Well, if you are just joining us, we welcome you into the stadium at Memorial Field. The 914th Infantry still at full force, but another rough start for Westchester. Falling behind after Willefi's 6-minute opener, his first goal in over 1,800 days. And now he wins this back here. 1,791 days, I should say, to be precise. The last time between now and when Willefi last scored. There's a Chattanooga man down on the edge of the area. This, an inviting spot for the Red Wolves. This is well within Omar Hernandez territory. Someone who's struck with a multitude of screamers from long range, although it may not favor the left boot. Did, of course, score that lovely goal against Spokane Velocity in the last league match. Hernandez does take. It's rather routine for Dane Jackman in the end. Payne. Sadie. Options again for Westchester. Obregon has been the point of difference all season for the Golden Apple. Okiyoshi. Maybe that's where Dave Carton expects a progressive pass, although not many options around. There is a progressive ball. Payne. Curling it to the back stick. Moves all the way through to Drac. A loose pass towards Bobby Pierre. Maybe numbers the other way. Hernandez just runs out of space on that far touchline. Fans, the USL and the CBS Sports Network kicks off in August with a League One Battle of the South. Newcomer FC Naples takes on South Georgia Tormenta FC. Wednesday, August 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. Guzin curling inside on his left. He was not far off there. Decent chance here for Dean Guzin. Escorts it onto his favored left foot and just puts his laces through this, and it nearly dips into that top left corner. Someone who has not produced much final third product in terms of goal scoring. In fact, has yet to score in USL League One play. But that is another instance in which he's come so very close. He's not shy about uncorking from afar. Walefi. Come back to the earlier advantage. Guzin's quality is evident every time he's on the ball. Someone who joined from the Polish second tier this offseason. You see here, not his finest time challenge by any means. Chattanooga players were maybe hoping they'd let play continue on, because Walefi had something in mind there. Hernandez. Oh, driving effort. It is loose. And the offside flag was raised in the end. It appeared to go against Grayson Mercer. Another eyebrow-raising moment, and well, maybe a billboard will need reconstructing come full time. Well, it appeared to be more of a happy accident. Declan Waters was the man through on goal. And then at the end of that interchange, the substitute Wine and Wessels puts a boot through intervention doing the job. Those are the moments where Dave Carton feels they can unlock this obdurate Chattanooga Red Wolves defense. And they nearly did it in one fell swoop. Payne was maybe one touch away from being through on goal. Just about midway through this first half, still a 1-0 advantage for Chattanooga Red Wolves, courtesy of Walefi's 6th-minute tally from about 25 yards out. Came after a punch from Dane Jackman that landed quite nicely into the path of Walefi. That is the difference maker thus far. It's been rather one-way traffic since. Westchester trying to find inventive ways to unlock this very, very strong Chattanooga back line. Well, Chattanooga has afforded Westchester few opportunities to legitimately test Jason Smith just yet. Palma is looking for Sadie. Drag. And Stephen Payne providing the width required. Nearly got the return ball there. Hernandez. Snatched right back by Dean Guzin. Obregon giving chase. A lovely ball from Okiyoshi this. Just shrugged off it by Waters. When I spoke to Scott McKenzie this week, he was big on the word character of his group, and he used it in reference to the 1-0 victory over 1 Knox after they rotated their squad heavily for a Jägermeister Cup finale in which they were effectively playing for nothing in terms of knockout stage aspirations. He said despite rotating the team, bringing in a number of players that had barely gotten any minutes since April, they were still able to earn a hard-fought victory. Only 27% of the ball in that fixture, by the way. And it's been something that's been evident all season. Have flashed resilience when it's required, but many respects have weathered storms and not broken defensively. And after the fact have snatched opportunistic finishes to get results. Dave Carton saying, this is still a team that plays to win. Make no mistake about it. They're not a team that is going in just to park the bus and lock up shop. They are very strategic in the way they play. There's Payne. Taken off it by what appears to be Wynan Wessels. Mercer loses out. Guzin. Bright opening half hour for him thus far. Obregon. Plenty of space now. Gets it back on the edge of the area. And the referee will come back to this earlier coming together. Perhaps appeals for the yellow card to be brandished as well. Either way, this is a very, very appetizing set-piece position, and it all comes off of Obregon's excellent interchange. Noah Powder, the clever back heel, and then it is just a late challenge. No malice in it, but certainly a foul that. And there are no lack of options Westchester can go with from this distance. Now Obregon and Drax seem to be the two immediately tipped for this. Dean Guzin's not far from the group of Westchester players, though. Five-man wall for Chattanooga. Obregon takes, it's right into the wall. Falls for Sadie, who couldn't get his boots on it. Cleared only as far as Palma. From that range, it is always tough to get it back up and down. Ultimately comes to nothing. Fans, don't miss your chance to be part of history with Westchester's first professional soccer club. Season tickets start at just $18 per game, bringing you world-class action at an unbeatable value. Visit westchestersc.com to learn more and lock in your seat for the 2025 season. 2025 Westchester SC season tickets are on sale now. Half hour gone from Mount Vernon, New York, and the stadium at Memorial Field, a historic venue in Westchester County. It is a 1-0 advantage to Chattanooga Red Wolves, with Leffy striking in the 6th minute to make the difference. Since then, one-way traffic with Westchester bossing the ball. A few half chances, but nothing that has truly troubled Jason Smith between the sticks just yet. We mentioned when Chattanooga scored, this plays into their hands. A side that now has the advantage and can organize themselves rather well defensively for the remaining hour or so. As far as Westchester goes, it's been an interesting run, as this is an error from Smith, and he manages to save it from clearing the line. Now Sadie, Smith does rather decently in the end, but that could have been catastrophic. Very fortunate that this doesn't travel quicker over the turf. Smith just lets this roll right through his legs, and he's just quick enough to catch up with it. Does well to close down the angle on Sadie as well, but that all a crisis of his own making. Now Westchester's first corner of the night. Guzin hooking it in. Toward the back post. Falls. Teta shoved in the back. Payne. Didn't matter anyway. Referee calls the transgression against Westchester. Heavy contact here. Teta does go over the back of Declan Waters, and I think that's what ultimately draws the referee's attention. And Payne's effort that hit the post ultimately doesn't matter. It's a moot point. Well, I tell you what, if you're Jason Smith, maybe you think that you're playing on turf right now, because on a grass pitch where the ball travels quicker, maybe, just maybe, that has the pace to go in before he can catch up with it. Either way, very fortunate that that didn't amount to more. Leffy, the lone goal scorer thus far. Going to switch for Aaron Lombardi. We've already spoken about Chattanooga's red-hot form entering the night. This is a side that started the year 5 unbeaten, but they were all 5 draws, even including the U.S. Open Cup matches that went to penalties in the first 2 rounds. But talking to Scott McKenzie this week, he said that was effectively phase 1. So that he was overjoyed with a lot of those results. 4 of them came on the road, and they were resilient displays. Now they enter tonight 5 unbeaten in all comps, and it's a little different. 4 wins in that span. Just 1 goal conceded in the entirety of that 5-match run since their last defeat in the Jägermeister Cup in late June. It has been an unbelievable stretch. Obregon. Payne. Back for Obregon. Slightly heavy touch, and that does just enough to put him off. Not only as far as Palma, though. Drag. Okiyoshi. Fans watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN, the nation's leading Spanish-language sports network, for 2 upcoming matches. Monterey Bay FC face off against FC Tulsa Wednesday, August 6th at 10 p.m. Eastern, and Lexington SC battle Phoenix Rising FC on Saturday, August 9th at 6 p.m. Eastern. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. We are in August, approaching what is the business end of the USL calendar, both in the Championship and League One. Still all to play for everyone across the USL spectrum. For Westchester, even a side that entered tonight just 1 point off the cellar, would find itself within 2 points of the playoff line with a victory. They climbed 3 spots in the table. Chattanooga, meanwhile, we've already talked about the implications. They win and they go top for the first time since May of 2022. That, of course, not including the scenario to open the year when they were top on alphabetical order following a draw against Naples. As you see Guzin clatter into the back of Eric Kinsner there. It would be a monumental night for a Chattanooga Red Wolves side that has undergone so much since its Cinderella run to the final in 2022. 2023 came in with so many expectations and ultimately fell short. Sacked their manager around the summertime, and from there, just a hodgepodge of different leaders guiding them through the season. Scott McKenzie was able to stabilize things at the end of the campaign, but came a bit too little too late. Now Mercer looking through to the oncoming Walefi, and Teta breaks it up. And then last season, we've spoken about Scott McKenzie trying to tweak his style to accommodate the attack-minded personnel he had in his squad. And ultimately, it didn't quite pan out, as you see it's coming together between Pierre and Omar Hernandez. This season, though, Scott McKenzie has not wavered from his desired direct style. He has gotten players in that can best optimize the desired style of play and implement it on the pitch. And now with a burst of Final Third production the last month or so, they have caught their best vein of form so far on the campaign. It's honestly one of the feel-good stories in USL League One, a side that is in prime position as of now to host at least one playoff match. Of course, it is a team with a proud history. The run to the final in 2022, competitive as well in 2021, as part of back-to-back playoff berths. Powder squirts it wide to Drag. Now Prince Sadie, who's made a menace of himself thus far. Okiyoshi. Drag again. Decent whip to this cross. It's charged away, though, with relative confidence. It does find its way to Grayson Mercer. Guzin may have a bit of a word here with our official. Decent work here for Mercer. Holds up well. Takes the studs to the back of his ankle. No real debate about whether or not that is a foul, and now he's shown the yellow for what is honestly a rather cynical challenge. First man in the book thus far. See.com for more information on single game and season tickets. On the precipice of 40 minutes. So far, it is just that Walefi goal that makes the difference. Can Guzin change that? Negotiates beyond Vasquez. Drag. See the freedom with which Drag roams. Can pop up wide or in the half space. Not shy about underlapping runs. Not the best ball in from Teta. Maybe some runway for Mercer. Heavy challenge from Teta. And there's a decision to make now for Kyle Johnston, our lead official, who has seen some degree of persistent fouling by Westchester players as Chattanooga looks to build out. Studs up, does get him on the follow-through even though he's clearly going for the ball. Teta may see his name in the book. That he does. 2 yellows in rather quick succession for Westchester.
Your attention, please. A caution has been issued by the referee to Westchester. Number 12, Rashid Teta. Caution issued to the 41st minute.
Well, I think Dave Carton is telling Dean Guzin to play with a little more pace, knock the ball about. You saw in that last run forward, Guzin ultimately bought time for the likes of Vasquez and others to recover, and that led to more Chattanooga numbers being parked behind the ball, which is exactly what that man wants. Scott McKenzie. Biggest point of emphasis from Dave Carton is playing at a pace that we feel Chattanooga can't match or replicate. We need to be able to beat them downfield and play against a more stretched back line, especially now when there won't be many self-inflicted wounds to capitalize on. Because Chattanooga won't exactly be rash about deploying numbers forward. Lombardi. There's a rare bout of the ball for Chattanooga Red Wolves. It's immediately collected back by Guzin. Hunting the run of Obregon. Does well to latch onto it, and he does win a free kick. Just dragged down here by Eric Kinsner. There's not much in it. Definitely not clean play by any means. This might be far enough out for Obregon to cause a little more danger than the first set piece. I'd be shocked if he is audacious enough to go for goal from this distance. It is Obregon and Guzin in the vicinity. Obregon drives it for goal, and he is not far off. Just narrowly bouncing beyond the near post. He may have even caught Jason Smith by surprise to a degree here, and he nearly placed it in that bottom left. Fan Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big league, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Westchester has created a number of eyebrow-raising chances. Nothing that has truly thrown Jason Smith into scramble mode yet. In fact, the only time he's been in that mode was a crisis of his own creation. There are signs of promise here in the late stages of the first half. They aren't knocking it about aimlessly by any means. They are creating opportunities at least. Drag. Okiyoshi. In the final minute of the initial 45. Lefty's 6-minute tally, his first goal in nearly 1,800 days, is what makes the difference thus far. In the 6th minute, Westchester's been playing catch-up ever since. Palma. Guzin. Bright spot for Westchester in this first half. Sadie. Outwits Walefi. Looking to switch for Payne now, and does so. Payne to the byline, cross deflected. Smith does very well to claim because Rashid Teta was immediately in the vicinity. 5 minutes of added time separate us from intermission. As far as Chattanooga is concerned, getting to the break with the lead intact will be the primary point of emphasis. Went down rather briefly. Obregon just runs into a thicket of white kids. It's been the problem for effectively every attacking player for Westchester thus far tonight. Just no space to operate constructively, especially as the ball ventures towards the penalty area. It is a similar issue to the one they encountered at Knoxville, but the difference is Knoxville not shy about asserting themselves in possession a little more. Chattanooga is a whole different obstacle in many regards. Just the sheer concentration of bodies makes it difficult. Knoxville often can snuff you out with their normal back four. Drag. Sadie nearly collected this. A miscommunication between Levine and his defensive counterpart. Hernandez. Levine. Vasquez. The ball went out of play before it reached him. When you take a look at the numbers, it should be no surprise at the 5% after possessing it for just 27% of the match last Saturday in their Jägermeister Cup finale. They are numbers that are becoming even further skewed by each passing match, and yet still finding ways to win and doing so rather confidently at that. Pierre. Okiyoshi. Guzin. Does Westchester have one final chance, and it's Locker before intermission? Obregon just overran this. Lombardi charges away. Mercer giving chase. Ding. To digest, because few clear-cut chances. Chattanooga had the two best of the match to open the game. Westchester's had a couple of decent ones since. They actually are favored in XG by a .21 to .13 margin, so it tells you how few and far between opportunities have been, as well as how low the XG of that Willefe opportunity actually was, even if he was unattended and chipping a goalkeeper from 25 yards. This is likely the final sojourn forward for the Golden Apple in this first half. Sadie. Payne. Guzin. Alma looking vertically now. Powder. For potentially one cross or two in. Guzin will try that now, hooking it towards Obregon. Nearly reached it. Falls for Drac. Now beyond the added 5 minutes. And the halftime whistle blows before Westchester can create anything concrete. Well, a half of frustration for Westchester, who falls behind early after Willefe's 25-yard chip of Dane Jacobin to make it 1-0 after just 6 minutes. Since then, one-way action, but Westchester unable to unlock a very strong Chattanooga back line. Our score at halftime is Westchester 0, Chattanooga 1. A lively start with chances aplenty grew into a cagier affair as the first half wore on. A frustrating half for Westchester comes to a close. Stick with us. We'll be back with stats and analysis here in USL League One next.
Being healthy means you can do what makes you happy. With the people who make you smile. Health First insurance plans connect you to care you can trust. For a happy family and a healthy future. With Health First, it's all within your reach.
You expect Manhattan-level care, and you live in Westchester. With Northwell, you'll find it all right here through this store in Terrytown, and this one in Katona, at Phelps Hospital and Northern Westchester Hospital. It's where you'll find a vast network of world-class doctors delivering everything from primary care to the most complex neurosurgery and cancer treatments. And it's all part of New York's most awarded health system, with every door leading to extraordinary care right here in Westchester. Northwell, raise health.
Our tagline is welcome to Soccer County, not a town. And we want it to be a hub of all the soccer energy throughout the communities of this region.
As a first-year franchise and a club that's new, you know, these are landmarks in the history of the club that you want to really do something memorable.
I think it shows how soccer crazy this area is, and how much passion there is about sports and just community in general.
Being a homegrown talent, you know, in my city, it means everything because my family, my friends, all my loved ones come to the game while doing.
We welcome you back to the stadium at Memorial Field, where at halftime, Chattanooga Red Wolves holds a 1-0 lead over Westchester SC in its quest to end tonight atop the table for the first time in 3 years. Well, now that we're at halftime, it's time to take a look around USL League One, starting with our July Player of the Month nominees. Check it out.
Taylor Gray harassed, turnover, Omaha in front, Betcher gets around, gets a shot, and a response! Walmer Martinez dashes free, it's still Martinez, Martinez rips it, oh my goodness!
Robles is through, this is Rodrigo Robles, and Greenville is in front.
Washington onto it, looking for his second, and converts! Hernandez, the point of origin, onto the left foot! My, what a strike! Omar Hernandez bends the line with a left-footed blast and makes it 1-0. Pelaez versus Jason Smith. Pelaez denied! Big stop by the first-year pro, and what a season it continues to be for Jason Smith.
It is a milestone 7 years in the making. USL League One is about to stage its 1,000th match. And no one has played in more of those matches than Greenville Triumph defender Evan Lee. 163 league appearances. How cool is that to be a part of that history?
It's really cool. I think it's things like that you think about growing up, and when you can find a good club in Greenville like I have, and a good league that is healthy and growing, it's really cool to be a part of.
You guys were the inaugural match, and everything was going fine until you had the defender's worst nightmare. You were stuck, the only guy left on a 2-on-1. What do you remember about that moment in the first League One game?
Not being very much fun. in that moment. But what I do really remember is obviously being disappointed in the result for us, but excited the league had kicked off and excited that we were able to take Alex Morel, the first ever goal scorer, and bring him over to Greenville the next season. So that's really what I remember from it.
Lee and the Triumph have seen plenty of big moments. There was Liam McKinnon's 4-goal showing against Chattanooga Red Wolves in 2023. The year before, a 5-5 10-goal draw against South Georgia Tormenta. So good, they now call it the Peach States Derby. Speaking of derbies, the Henny Derby between Forward Madison and Richmond Kickers finished League One's first ever CBS SN match in grand fashion.
It's in! The Richmond Kickers win the Henny Derby!
From Madison's Snopener to Union Omaha's season points record in 2023, League One is writing history one match at a time. You got Ronaldinho with a shovel in the dirt, getting ready to get a stadium going here. Does this come together better than you thought?
Definitely. Because again, when you come to a new team, you're not really sure. And it's easy to throw buzzwords around and say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But to see the club try to push forward and actually make some progress in these things is really good. That goes to show how serious the league is, and that's all we can ask for at the end of the day.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
On the ground, stepping Cisneros!
For Reed Stephen, Tormenta is in front.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. 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 What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Being healthy means you can do what makes you happy. With the people who make you smile. Health First insurance plans connect you to care you can trust. For a happy family. And a healthy future. With Health First, it's all within your reach.
We welcome you back to Westchester County, where at halftime, Westchester SC trailing Chattanooga Red Wolves 1-0. Well, Leffy's goal in the 6th minute is what makes the difference. It's now time to get a look around USL League One, starting with some news and notes from around the league. How about League One reaching its Millennium Phase? The 1,000th match taking place Saturday. Spokane Velocity hosting Union Omaha in a rematch of last year's USL League One final. And then how about Greenville Triumph, the only League One team to reach the knockout stages of the Jägermeister Cup, as of now scheduled to host a quarterfinal match. And finally, USL Eugene awarded a franchise and they will begin play in 2026, part of a loaded slate of clubs joining the USL League One family in a year's time. Speaking of the USL League One in its current phase, how about we look at our upcoming schedule? It is a loaded weekend, 6 matches on Saturday, starting with Ford Madison hosting AV Alta, and then as you head further down, Richmond Kickers looking to get going again in a playoff 6-pointer against FC Naples tomorrow night. We round things up with that 1,000th match. That is Spokane Velocity. They will be hosting Union Omaha. Around the league, now that we have the live standings up, if this holds, Chattanooga Red Wolves will go top of the table for the first time since May of 2022. Westchester, meanwhile, would still remain 5 points off playoff pace, but the margins are very slim. A goal either way would change that dramatically. Before we go to break, we pause to remember our friend and colleague, John Kochel, who passed away Thursday evening following a courageous 9-year battle with brain cancer. Despite countless surgeries and treatments, John embraced life every day with a passion and love that lit up every room he walked into. A valued member of the USL HQ staff since 2015, he will forever be remembered by his big smile, contagious laugh, and his deep love for his family. John is survived by his wife and son. He was just 39 years old. We will be right back. We send our condolences his family's way.
Our tagline is welcome to Soccer County, not a town. And we want it to be a hub of all the soccer energy throughout the communities of this region.
As a first-year franchise and a club that's new, you know, these are landmarks in the history of the club that you want to really do something memorable.
I think it shows how soccer crazy this area is, and how much passion there is about sports and just community in general.
For being a homegrown talent, you know, in my city, it means everything because my family, my friends, all my loved ones come to the game, watch me play, you know, and, you know, I'm just try to put on for my city as much as I can.
Being healthy means you can do what makes you happy. With the people who make you smile. Health First insurance plans connect you to care you can trust. For a happy family and a healthy future. With Health First, it's all within your reach.
You expect Manhattan-level care, and you live in Westchester. With Northwell, you'll find it all right here through this store in Terrytown, and this one in Katona, at Phelps Hospital and Northern Westchester Hospital. It's where you'll find a vast network of world-class doctors delivering everything from primary care to the most complex neurosurgery and cancer treatments. And it's all part of New York's most awarded health system, with every door leading to extraordinary care right here in Westchester. Northwell. Raise health.
Back here at the stadium at Memorial Field, where at halftime, Chattanooga Red Wolves SC holds a 1-0 lead in its quest to end the night atop the USL League One table. Still 45 minutes left to sort out before we can determine whether that will be the case. And speaking of the opening 45 minutes, how about we get a look back at the standout moments from that first half? We started with a flyer. Chattanooga Red Wolves, 2 major opportunities to open the scoring. Omar Hernandez from long range bashing this towards goal. A good save by Dane Jackman, and then the rebound was bashed over the crossbar. That was the warning shot. This was the devastating blow. You see this long throw come in. Ultimately, a lot of issues handling this in the box. They force Jackman off his line, who punches, leaves the goal barren, and Walefi first time bashing it into the back of the net from about 25 yards out to make it 1-0 inside 6 minutes. And from there, Westchester has been forced to play catch-up. That's not to say they haven't created opportunities, though. They flipped the script and made this one-way traffic. Stephen Payne laying this back off for Dean Guzin, who tries to pick out the far corner and is not far off by any means. just whistles it wide of the top left corner. And then this error from Jason Smith, nearly catastrophic, lets it run through his legs, has to clear this off the line, and I think he's thanking his lucky stars he's not playing on grass, because on turf the ball moves a bit slower and buys him the time needed to recover. You look at the first half stats, possession disparity at this point, no surprise when you watch Chattanooga play, but 77% of the ball for Westchester, still though being outshot and still has not managed a shot on goal. That is a testament to how Chattanooga has still managed to control the game despite being thoroughly outpossessed. That's been the story of their season, and the familiar formula is on display once again through 45 minutes of action. We are just about ready to get things back underway here in Mount Vernon. Temperatures dipping beneath 70 degrees just past 8 p.m. local time. Chattanooga trying to get over the line and notch a 5th win in the last 6th across all comps. Meanwhile, for Westchester, just hoping they can salvage a result and continue what has been a promising spell the last couple of match weeks in league play. We are back underway. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action as Chattanooga looks to go atop the table with 3 points tonight. They're halfway there. Can they finish the race and not log what would be a monumental night for this club after 2 very rocky campaigns? Jonathan Bolaños entering the fray for Westchester. A sign of intent from Dave Carton's bunch. Hearing word he's replaced Stephen Payne, so that is a very attack-minded swap. And you just wonder now, is that a change in shape, or do they play Bolaños at wingback? Powder. Decent cross in, but right at Jason Smith. As we mentioned, the substitution taking place, Payne out, Bolaños in. That substitution presented by Benjamin Steakhouse, always a prime choice. Well, if that isn't the clearest signs of Westchester's intent in the second half, I don't know what is, because Stephen Payne played a promising opening 45 minutes, provided plenty of attacking punch, but they bring on an out-and-out winger in Johnny Bolaños, who will hope to change the trajectory of things. It has been an interesting year for Bolaños, someone who 3 years ago was the golden playmaker in this league during Richmond Kickers' USL League One Players' Shield title campaign. Powder, flashing ball, doesn't quite reach Sadie. But since then, after rejoining Westchester following 2 years in MLS Next Pro with Huntsville City, they've had him in a different spot, not really a touchline winger like he was at Richmond. He's playing more of an inside 10 role. Dave Carton seeking to develop all of his skill set as he approaches the tail end of his 20s, but the production hasn't quite been there. Another cross from Powder, runs all the way through to Bolaños this time. Can't play this back to Guzin. Mercer catches up to this, sent tumbling by Pierre, I should say. Referee waves play on. Drac. Speaking of players who provided a bright light for Westchester in the first half, Drac definitely fits that mold. Guzin chipping it towards Obregon, runs onto it. Just trying to find the soft spot in this Chattanooga back line. Sadie. It will take surgeon-like accuracy to dissect Chattanooga in the low block, as well as rapid pace. Drac negotiates through 2 defenders. Decent looking cross, but one that runs right through to a Chattanooga defender. Take more of that. Elements of perhaps individual brilliance or collective brilliance to actually test Jason Smith. Well, Juan Palma and Grayson Mercer having words with our lead official, Kyle Johnston. Juan Palma's not shy about exchanging pleasantries with officials. Some would argue he was perhaps fortunate to avoid getting sent off in the Jägermeister Cup finale at Detroit last week. Now, by contrast, many would argue the second yellow to Noel Powder was anything but justified. Dave Carton himself wasn't necessarily thrilled with that decision. Here's a quick counter from Chattanooga. The shot from Vasquez is right at Jackman, though. Just a reminder, Chattanooga, a number of proven options off the bench, despite playing a relatively limited squad, just 5 outfield players on their subs bench tonight. Matt Bentley is their leading scorer with 9 goals in all Cobs. He's just coming back, though, from a red card he was given in the tail end of the Texoma match in mid-July. He's on the bench tonight as an option. Chattanooga has looked relatively fearsome when they actually devote numbers forward anyways in his stead. Vasquez. The offside flag is raised on the near side. Catch every heart-pounding moment at Westchester's home stadium at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon. 2025 season tickets are on sale now, offering flexible payment plans, priority access, discounts, invites to exclusive events, and much more. Don't miss out on an unforgettable season of fun, friends, community, and soccer. Visit westchestersc.com to become a 2025 season ticket member today. Westchester breaking forward here. Nearly cleared back to Sadie. Finally stabbed away towards Grayson Mercer, who shrugs Juan Palma to the turf. And that may be enough to get him in the book. Just the first yellow shown to a Chattanooga player all night. Grayson Mercer, the recipient. Shove in the back of the head. Relatively unnecessary contact. Definitely fits the threshold of a yellow.
Attention, please. The caution has been issued by the referee to
Obregon is fouled.
Number 15, Grayson Mercer. Caution issued in the 52nd minute.
Dave Carton mentioned that if they can't unlock Chattanooga out of open play, set pieces will be a major point that they need to focus on improving. And this week, that was something that they locked in on in training, knowing that set-piece opportunities could make the difference between a point in 3 or no points in a point. Decent-looking delivery from Guzin. Still up in the air. Smith is now off his line. Chattanooga handles it with relative aplomb anyways. Dave Carton saying that we haven't been good enough on our set-piece deliveries for large spells this year. Tonight would be a match where we need to improve it. In a game where a goal out of open play looks less likely with each passing minute, you wonder if a set piece could prove to be what the doctor ordered. Chattanooga players now down. It is the goal scorer, Willefi, who's just slow to return to his feet. Just undercut here by Guzin. There's no malice in it, certainly, but it's a stinger. That's well done by Lilon. Ushering it wide to Omar Hernandez. Crossing towards the back post and overcooks it for everyone. Obregon drifting wide now. Trying to thread it through to Powder. It reaches Drac, deflected cross. And it nearly caught Smith out at his near post. Instead, just out for a corner. Awkward deflection this. Obregon engineering something at least notable here. And the cross just deflected by Leline for Westchester's first corner of this second half. Guzin stands over it, has been the go-to set piece taker all night. Outswinger towards the back post. Palma got his head to it, but it's through the wrong set of uprights. Fan soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. There is not a bad seat in the house at the stadium at Memorial Field, and with each passing week, you see the crowds climb and climb. Of course, the 914th Infantry, a rapidly growing supporters group for Westchester SC. They've attracted more members with each passing week, as well as casual fans from around the Westchester County area who are coming to see the local team play during summertime. It's nice temperate weather tonight, a great night for footy. Not the best night on the score sheet yet for Westchester, though. Pierre. Dave Carton says he and Ermin Makic are two players that don't get nearly enough acclaim from fans and observers of the league alike. Obregon. Guzin. Okiyoshi. Obregon nearly picked out Sadie. Only as far as Rashid Teta. Guzin trying from afar. It's loose. Obregon onto it and finishes. The league's top scorer has another, and Westchester's level. He is a goal-scoring machine. Simply put, Dean Guzin testing the goalkeeper. It's not handled well by Jason Smith, and Obregon pounces like the true striker he is. Just a poacher's finish. Gary Lineker would be very proud. Ushering it underneath Smith, and the Westchester fans at full volume. 1-1. Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. is a man in goal-scoring form that many strikers wish they could mimic. A 9th of the season to pace all goal scorers in USL League One. Single-handedly carrying this Westchester squad on his back. And yet another goal to his rapidly growing collection. 9 on the season, 14 in all comps. 1-1. Obregon, of course, scoring the spectacular that leveled things at Knoxville last league match. Obviously, the Spokane stats don't count due to the forfeit circumstances that led to it being a 3-0 victory. But J.C. Obregon Jr. scored an equalizer in that match as well. Not to mention a winner against Forward Madison. The goal collection is one that many would envy. Someone who joined USL League One with Charlotte Independence a year ago, scored 20 in all comps under Dave Carton and Mike Jeffries. Of course, Dave Carton, an assistant there last year before departing for Westchester. He has followed Dave Carton to Westchester, and he has been the talisman that has anchored this side all year long. Maybe a sign of hope for the Golden Apple as we enter the final 30 minutes. It at least forces Chattanooga to come out of its shell a bit more. Well, if you're just joining us, we've hit the hour mark. Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. leveling things again for Westchester. It's been a common theme over the course of the last month and beyond. A 58th minute poacher's finish to make it 1-1 after Jason Smith had issues with Dean Guzen's long-range effort. And just like that, after a frustrating opening 45 minutes in which Westchester was caught out and couldn't find a way through, they now find themselves on a level playing field. Sets the stage for what should be an enthralling close to this, because Chattanooga is no slouch when it comes to getting numbers forward when they need to. And what's interesting about their style of play is it's all calculated. Yes, they clear it a lot. Yes, they play direct, but they're playing it to players they feel can win duels in certain matchups, and then they can stretch defenses on second balls and such. So it is a very well-developed system by Scott McKenzie. It may not be the traditional knock it about and build, but it does the job, and it's something Westchester's already learned the hard way tonight. Powder dancing inside, and still with Noah Powder, and out of real estate on the near side and just out for a goal kick. Well, fans, don't miss your chance to be part of history with Westchester's first professional soccer club. 2025 Westchester Soccer Club season tickets are now on sale. Don't miss your chance to be part of our historic inaugural season at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon. Catch all of the action and all of the fun starting at just $18 per game. Tickets are selling fast. Visit westchestersc.com for more information. Guzen is looking through to Obregon, and it is collected by Smith. Look at this, Palma just right into the back of Grayson Mercer. Those two, a physical battle all night. Now Palma is slow to get up. Dave Carton is a bit frustrated by that interchange. With everyone that scores, Obregon tonight, no exception to that rule. Someone who really battles for his players and has faith that it will all pan out. Yes, it's been a season with adversity, injuries, etc. Yes, they've been through prolonged rough patches, but still well and truly in the playoff hunt, especially if they can get a result tonight against a team with table-topping intentions. The yellow card was issued to Juan Palma moments ago, and that is why Dave Carton was incredulous by the decision. Led to a Chattanooga free kick. Another set piece now for Chattanooga. Dinked forward. Palma charging it away. Cycled well by Aaron Lombardi. Rejoining Chattanooga in mid-June. Someone who spent 2 years with Chattanooga Red Wolves. He and Walefi right now, the few holdovers from that team that reached the 2019 USL League One final. 2022 USL League One final, I should say. Walefi, of course, there since 2019. Bolaños. He's brought down. Cynical tackle this from Aaron Lombardi. Tried to foul him at first and then the little shove. Maybe fortunate to get off without a booking here. Scott McKenzie did warn that this could be a trap fixture in many respects. He says this Westchester side, loaded with tremendous individual talent, can score lovely goals, and it is a team that is desperate for a result. This is not a match we can go into expecting anything. We need to be on our game. Here's Prince Sadie. He's been on his, cuts it back across for Obregon. Still loose, and finally knocked out of danger at the third time of asking. Guzin again. It was his long-range shot which led to Obregon's rebound equalizer. Since the goal, Chattanooga's responded well. Going forward a bit more in possession, although still maintaining that defensive organization. At least have given Westchester something to think about the other direction. Of course, in the first 20 minutes of this second half, it had been largely Westchester pressing the issue and Chattanooga clearing its lines. Goal scored with a few words for our lead official, Kyle Johnston. It is not often you see Walefi score a goal. More of an industrious presence in midfield that cleans up all the messes. Someone who's been a veteran of this Chattanooga Red Wolves side. He's now made the 8th most appearances in USL League One history. It's appearance number 136 for him, all of which have been with Chattanooga Red Wolves dating back to their inaugural season in 2019. Chattanooga, a founding member of USL League One, alongside the likes of South Georgia Tormenta, Ford Madison, and a few others. Richmond Kickers, of course, dropping down as well from USL ranks to the USL League One. And in a league that ever changes, they've been a constant. Bolaños. Chipped over the top. Mercer's giving chase, and he does catch up to it. Does not have reinforcements though, and Bobby Pierre has done very well. Eileen will strap in. This could be a fun 20 minutes or so. Chattanooga will go for this. They're a team that has battled through adversity before, even in the defeat at AV Alta. Battling back from 2-1 down to find a leveler in April before conceding that last-minute penalty. It's just one of their 2 league defeats all season. This is a Chattanooga side that has not suffered defeat in league play since falling at Greenville Triumph on June 21st. Since then, 3 wins in the last 4 league matches. A team that prior to tonight had conceded just 1 goal in the entirety of that span. And now they make a double change, and the big guns enter the fray. Matt Bentley, the leading goal scorer with 9 in all comps. Someone who scored a number of big goals for Chattanooga and Richmond before that. Getting set to enter, as does Jordan Iambila, who has been a revelation at wingback this year. So Bentley for Hernandez. I wonder if that moves Bentley centrally, or they play him on the wing and leave Mercer down the middle. On the other side, of course, bring in Jordan Iambila, who Scott McKenzie describes as surely the fastest player in the league. Both those substitutions presented by Benjamin Steakhouse, always a prime choice. Here's Lombardi. Crossing it in, it's dangerous. Flashing across the face, and the touch to it was not accurate enough. Fans can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on the Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Iambila replaced Zaire Vasquez, and Bentley replaced Omar Hernandez. So 2 changes on the front line. I wonder if that means Iambila is deployed in a more forward-thinking role, has been more of a traditional fullback wingback, especially since joining Chattanooga. And his pace could definitely prove problematic for opposing fullbacks, no doubt. Here's a switch out to Josh Drack, who's posed plenty of issues tonight for Chattanooga's defense. This is crafty from Obregon. He weaves a web of lies and wins the set piece. He's in a different zone. Just deletes 2 defenders, manages to stay on his feet before Omar Gomez finally impedes him. Could argue he was maybe losing his footing there, but Obregon won't complain. And again, would not put it past either of these 2 to launch towards goal, especially the man donning number 29. Obregon, Drack, and Guzin all in the vicinity. Obregon hooks towards goal. It's off the wall this time. Bobby Pierre lets it run out for a corner. Not a Westchester team that has excelled on set pieces this year. Guzin has provided some tantalizing balls tonight into the box. This with in-swing towards Palma. Got his head to it, but unable to steer it on target. Fans, don't miss your chance to be part of history with Westchester's first professional soccer club. Season tickets start at just $18 per game, bringing you world-class action at an unbeatable value. Visit westchestersc.com to learn more and lock in your ticket for the 2025 season. 2025 Westchester SC season tickets and single game tickets are on sale now. You can also look at it at the QR code on your screen as well. Chattanooga with numbers. Iambila surging forward, tries for goal, and it's in! The substitute makes an instant impact, and Chattanooga is right back in front. Jordan Iambila, his first league goal in Chattanooga colors, just picks this up uses his pace to bypass every defender and puts just enough on this to take it past Dane Jackaman. Chattanooga 2, Westchester 1. Ayambila, the native of Akragana, who began his career with San Antonio FC, made 11 appearances for a side that won the 2022 title in USL Championship. Now under contract with Miami FC, but loaned out to Chattanooga for the season. And what an addition he has been. Scott McKenzie raving about his pace, saying he's surely the fastest player in the league. Well, there is the pace on full display, picking it up and deleting everyone in sight. Just left a convoy of Westchester defenders in the dust. And after all that work by Westchester to claw themselves level, they find themselves having to do so again to salvage anything. Ayambila began his career in the Ghanaian Premier League. He began his USL career with San Antonio FC. He's also played in the Malaysian Super League, but the last 4 seasons in particular in the USL ranks. He's featured for 3 USL Championship clubs in as many seasons. Now a corner for Westchester. Out-swinging ball from Guzin. It is headed along. Nearly fell nicely for Sadie. Obergon can't reach it in time. Only as far as Guzin. Scott McKenzie has cooked up a substitution masterclass because the 2 men involved, at least in the immediate vicinity on that run through on goal, were Matt Bentley and Jordan Ayambila. Matt Bentley took the defender with him, people thinking he would play it across, so it allowed Ayambila to take the shot himself. Both substitutes the reason for Chattanooga's go-ahead tally. Bolaños. Does Westchester have one final display of resilience in its locker? Guzin's taken down. Maybe a bit shaken up here. Just toes it past Walefi and then takes the contact after the fact. It's not the nicest coming together, that. Allows Josh Drack to at least have another number of options at his disposal. The lone man that stands over this. Going for goal, and this time Smith deals with it rather well, no spills. Scott McKenzie has mentioned with Jason Smith, someone who's known for quite some time, that he is willing to let Jason Smith play through his mistakes. Someone who's been the mainstay in league play. Ricardo Jerez, the 39-year-old, more of the cup goalkeeper, says he's learned a lot from Ricardo Jerez, just training with him, and also the live action experience as well. Here's Mercer. Tried for the near post and missed it entirely. Jason Smith is just still 22 years old, turned 22 a couple months back, so he's rather young. Scott McKenzie saying this season we will 4 league matches before, of course, conceding this evening. As Westchester readies a triple change. Daniel Bauman replacing Taimu Okiyoshi. Dean Guzin is also out for Erman Makic. And finally, Joel Johnson is getting set to enter the fray. Has been a mainstay in the 11 for the bulk of this year, but comes off the bench tonight. Those substitutions presented by Benjamin Steakhouse, always a prime choice. The final change, Rashid Teta off for Joel Johnson, so that may signify a shift in shape. A center back off for a center mid who can also play fullback. Herman Makic coming on as well suggests that maybe this might be more of a 4-4-2 look, because Dave Carton tends to play Makic alongside Obregon in two-men front lines. He has raved about Herman Makic, says still has a lot to learn about nuances of where to run and timing of runs. But also is a native of the area from Yonkers who genuinely cares and puts in a crazy work rate up front. Just 20 years of age as well. He feels that he has the world at his feet. And that it is. It is definitely a shift to 4 at the back, it seems. Pierre Baumann. Right to Bolaños. Drag. Hooks the cross in and knuckled the wrong direction, right into Smith's gloves. eFootball is here. Inside the final 10 minutes here in Westchester County. Chattanooga Red Wolves lead 2-1 over Westchester SC, courtesy of Jordan Iambila's 74th minute strike. Westchester was building, showed promise, but caught on the counter. And now Lombardi over the top to Matt Bentley. Good stop by Jackaman. Johnson struggling to play out though. Iambila wins it back, and he'll just have to settle for a corner this time. What a shift Jordan Iambila has put in since entering the fray. For one, brilliant ball from our own Lombardi. Bentley's forced to touch wide, and he's unable to play it just across the face. And Iambila manages to track Johnson with his pace and at least create some trouble for Bobby Pierre and company. You would figure he will be Chattanooga's man of the match come the end of the 90 minutes if this result holds. As of now, in line to finish tonight, atop the USL League One table. A side that has languished below the playoff line for the better part of the last 2 years, but this season, a resurgent campaign. Bentley's outswinger now. Bolaños is first to it. Now Lombardi. And at this point, every stoppage will benefit Chattanooga. They will be in no rush to take any of these long throws. Iambila hoofs it in. It's across the face for a goal kick. Fans, the USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to uslchampionship.com or uslleague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Westchester still trails 2-1, flashing resilience to get back in the match. J.C. Obregon Jr. striking once again in the 58th. 16 minutes later, Jordan Iambila finishing off a lovely counter-attacking move with excellent pace and terrific one-on-one composure to put them back in front. As you see Obregon here, running right into Lean. He's the man that supplied the would-be winner. And Obregon is the man penalized. He has flat out carried Westchester on his back at times. 9 league goals. Entering tonight, Westchester had scored just 21. So 9 of 22 league goals now have been courtesy of Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. It is a Westchester team with the fewest unique goal scorers in league play, with just 8 all season long. And it's been in large thanks due to Obregon carrying the load he has. And at a certain point, if it ain't broke, maybe don't fix it going forward. It's not like the attacking numbers have been poor by Westchester by any means. It's a team that rarely gets blanked, especially in USL League One competition. Whistles with a chance to take this free kick. It may be a nervy final 5 minutes and stoppages for Scott McKenzie. But as of now, his side has flashed resilience once again to weather the Westchester storm, take their best punch, and then claw right back ahead. And efficiency has once again been the name of the day. 5 shots on goal, 2 have found the back of the net. A 40% conversion rate is nothing to scoff at. Waters over the top towards Iambila, the goal scorer. Whistle sounds against Grayson Mercer before Matt Bentley can catch up to that. 2 more changes being readied by Chattanooga as they hope to see this out. Just waiting for the referee to wave them on. It appears Owen Green is one of the 2 set to enter. Johnson. Obregon. Heavy touch. Fell nicely for Powder. Walefi. A convoy of Red Wolves beside him as well. Driving ahead through to Grayson Mercer. And the offside flag shoots up just by a matter of inches. Somewhat frustrating night for Chattanooga's new man up front, who started the bulk of the last month. It has shown plenty of repose. Obregon. Switching it to Sadie. Past Iambila, early cross, and it's right at Jason Smith. He'll milk every second he feasibly can. If this holds, Chattanooga begins their 3 matches in 8 days on a high note. They take on Madison at home on Wednesday before heading to Omaha next Saturday. For Westchester, it's 3 matches in 9 days. They go to Omaha on Wednesday, and then they host Tormenta on Sunday. That match we'll have for you here on ESPN Plus and the MSG family of networks. Double change now. It is Pedro Hernandez and Owen Green. Hernandez replacing Grayson Mercer up front. Lombardi out for Green in a like-for-like swap. Hernandez for Mercer, Green for Lombardi. Both substitutions presented by Benjamin Steakhouse. Always a prime choice. Green, a former USL League One winner during his time with South Georgia Tormenta in 2022. Has bounced around the league ever since. Last year with Lexington SC. Two years ago with Lexington SC. Joining Chattanooga. Pedro Hernandez immediately gives chase. He has played literally everywhere you could possibly think of, apart from maybe center back. Issues building out of this press now for Westchester. Sadie. Forced back. Bentley takes it off him. And now Bentley is in. Tries for goal. The angle a bit too tight for his liking. Into the final minute of the initial 90. And the question remains, does Westchester have one final stand in it? Will Chattanooga head atop the table come evening's end? Obregon switches it to Makic. Powder. Sadie now. Prince Sadie curling it. Tried to pick out the far corner, and he was well off. Frustrating night by his standards. Caught fire in late May and early June. Since then, final product hasn't quite followed suit beyond that lovely goal at Ford Madison to level things. 5 minutes of added time separate Chattanooga from a trip back atop the USL League One table. They've not been atop the League One table at the end of a match week since May 13th, 2022. It was a 2-0 victory over Central Valley Fuego to pull Chattanooga atop the table. They ran into a summertime slump, managerial turmoil that led them to make a change and bring in an interim, but caught fire in the fall and made that run as the 4 seed to the USL League One final before falling in heartbreaking fashion to Tormenta at Tormenta Stadium. They have not seen the playoffs since, but an opportunity to go top for the first time since that magical campaign, which surely means so much to so many around the club after 2, frankly, very difficult years. Long throw. Bauman heads it to Sadie. Johnson spraying it forward to Makic. A bit too much velocity on it. Johnson. Towards Bolaños. You get the sense that maybe Westchester has thrown its best punch. Since the goal, there's been a sense of deflation, at least throughout the stadium. You hear it in background noise, at least. It's been an unfortunate story of Westchester's season this year. So many matches where they're right there, and as Dave Carton put it, the footballing gods haven't smiled on us much, be it injuries, be it late game lapses that have cost us results, and have prevented us from making up ground in the playoff chase. They risk sacrificing more valuable ground here tonight in another match where they're very well, on a different evening, could have claimed all 3. That takes nothing away from a Chattanooga side that has flashed its resilience all evening, as Pedro Hernandez receiving the late booking a second ago. Makic heads it down for Drac. This is Obregon, lone Westchester goal scorer thus far. Bobby Pierre, everyone in blue well beyond midfield apart from Dane Jackaman. And if they are to win a corner here, you figure we'll see Jackaman shoot forward. Hand fighting. Homa may have gotten away with a tug or two. Into the final minute of the added 5. At this point for Westchester, if it does come, it has to come now. Hernandez onto it. Pierre fell asleep. It is still Pedro Hernandez, and that surely wraps it up. Chattanooga Red Wolves will go top of the USL League One table, and Pedro Hernandez ensures all 3 points with their 3rd of the night. Well, Bobby Pierre here, it's inexplicable. He thinks Bentley is going to be offside and loses track of Hernandez, who has the most routine one-on-one you'll see all night. Costly, and any hope Westchester had extinguished in one action. Pedro Hernandez waving goodbye to those in attendance. And they should say hello to their residents atop the USL League One table, at least for the next 24 hours. That surely seals it. Hernandez with his 6th of the year in league play, 7th in all comps. First league goal, though, since late June. 1 point scored in 5 straight league matches through the late spring and early summer.
Your attention, please. Shooting goal, scored by number 14.
Westchester probably with one final chance. And it may have just come to nothing, and that it has. The final whistle sounds. Scott McKenzie's side climbing atop the USL League One table tonight. Chattanooga Red Wolves' best start through 16 matches in club history, already exceeding that record set in 2021. It was 29 points then, it's 30 points now as Chattanooga wins in 3-1 fashion. The fast start provided by Walefi. Westchester providing hope in the form of Obregon's equalizer, but 2 goals in the final 20 minutes allowed Chattanooga to climb atop the table and clinch their best start through a 16-match slate. We're going to step aside briefly. When we return, a look back at what was a thrilling 90 minutes from Westchester.
You expect Manhattan-level care, and you live in Westchester. With Northwell, you'll find it all right here, through this store in Terrytown, and this one in Katona, at Phelps Hospital and Northern Westchester Hospital. It's where you'll find a vast network of world-class doctors delivering everything from primary care to the most complex neurosurgery and cancer treatments. And it's all part of New York's most awarded health system, with every door leading to extraordinary care right here in Westchester. Northwell. Raise health.
Our tagline is welcome to Soccer County, not a town. And we want it to be a hub of all the soccer energy throughout the communities of this region.
As a first-year franchise and a club that's new, you know, these are landmarks in the history of the club that you want to really do something memorable.
I think it shows how soccer crazy this area is, and how much passion there is about sports and just community in general.
Being a homegrown talent, you know, in my city, it means everything because my family, my friends, all my loved ones come to the game, watch me play, you know, and you know, I'm just try to put on for my city as much as I can.
We are back in Westchester County, where Chattanooga Red Wolves secures a 3-1 victory and notches its best 16-match start to a season in club history. 30 points, and they surge atop the table for at least the next 24 hours. What a run of form it has been for Scott McKenzie's bunch. And speaking of the 90 minutes that just transpired, we have to jump in and look at what was a very fun affair in this first ever meeting between Westchester SC and Chattanooga Red Wolves. A very fast start for Chattanooga. They create a number of chances. This the opener. The cross comes in. Dane Jackaman punches and is caught off his line as Walefi takes it first time to put Chattanooga in front. His first goal in nearly 1,800 days gives Chattanooga the early advantage. And for a while we wondered, would Chattanooga see this out? Westchester creating chances. Chattanooga also some self-inflicted wounds. Jason Smith fortunate that this doesn't cross the line. Just absolutely lets it run through his legs and nearly wound up going in the net. But then the equalizer did come, and Smith may want this back as well. You see Dean Guzin ultimately get this and just bash this from long range. A good stop by Smith, but he doesn't parry it well at all, and Obregon pounces. Guzin just puts his laces through it Smith goes underneath it, it pops up on him, and that's what allows Obregon to finish for his 9th of the year. But then the substitutes made all of the impact for Chattanooga. Jordan Iambila using his pace to get through on goal and puts just enough on it to take it beyond Dane Jackaman. It was Iambila's first league goal of the season for Chattanooga Red Wolves. And then in the 95th minute, with Westchester chasing, Bobby Pierre just falls asleep. I think he loses track of Pedro Hernandez, who has the most routine goal you'll see all year. Just rounds Jackaman, dispatches of it in the dying embers, and solidifies the 3 points with Chattanooga's 3rd of the night. What an evening it proved to be for Chattanooga Red Wolves and Scott McKenzie, whose 2 substitutes make the difference in the final 16 minutes and change. And you look at the full-time stats, the classic Chattanooga recipe. Outpossessed nearly, well, basically 3-1, 76-24 split, and yet they still nearly match Westchester's shot tally. They more than double their shots on goal. A deserved 3 points, despite maybe what the XG will indicate, far more clinical, and they do the job. Scott McKenzie's squad once again a smash and grab away from home. Well, that is where things finish, where Chattanooga Red Wolves complete a historic start to their season and move atop the USL League One table for at least the next 24 hours. For our terrific crew, I'm Sam Goldfarb saying so long from Westchester County. It finishes Chattanooga 3, Westchester 1. Have a great rest of your night, everyone.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.